Hey y'all, Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV, back to bring news and commentary you can use. Listen, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Listen, I hear your concerns about the migrant crisis, okay? If you haven't checked out my migrant crisis coverage playlist, please make sure you check it out. The link is in the description below. Listen, I've had a chance to hear from people from New York City, people in towns in Texas that are, in the area not far from the border, even people from Arizona. Listen, I've even heard from some of you all in Chicago. And actually, I want to talk about Chicago again in this particular video. Listen, y'all, a lot of people have concerns about what's going on. A lot of people are fed up, okay? A lot of people are fed up because they feel like their cities are ignoring them in all of this. They feel like they are being overlooked. They feel like they're being forgotten about, and in some ways even disrespected. Let me tell you about this story, y'all. So I've even had a chance to read. Now, I don't tell people who to vote for. You should vote for this person. You should vote for that person. That's certainly a choice that you have to make for yourself. I see in the comments where some people have, even said, well, thank Biden voters. And then I've even had people say before, or maybe just a few people say, black people voted for Biden, thank them and something to that extent, right? And I guess because of my skin color, I guess people just assume that I, along with everyone that looks like me, voted a particular way. And that's not always the case, okay? But listen, I want to come on and talk about this story, okay? I thought it was definitely worth mentioning. And I want to know your thoughts on this, okay? Now, according to my sources, okay, black voters in Chicago, Illinois, they're vowing to flip the city red, okay, over migrant issues, okay, as well as crime crisis, okay? So the migrant crisis as well as the crime crisis has some black voters, okay, according to my sources in Chicago, ready to flip the city red, okay? And they're even saying, and I quote, "It's time for us to make a change." Okay, listen to this, y'all. Now, according to my sources, as Chicago residents battle various crises, okay, including surging crime and an influx of migrants, okay, black voters in Chicago are mobilizing to turn the city red and do, and I quote, away with what they're calling far left Democratic policies in the Windy City. Okay, let me know your thoughts on this, okay? Now, two residents, okay, spoke about their vow to turn the city red in 2024 and why they must steer away from Mayor Brandon Johnson. You've heard me mention him in a few videos. They want to, why they must steer away from Mayor Brandon Johnson's, and I quote, progressive policies, okay, as they spoke on another news network. Now, listen, y'all, they were, one resident was quoted as saying, the Democratic Party, listen to this, y'all, okay? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if some of you feel like you can relate to this. Do you agree or disagree? I'm not here to tell you what to think, okay? So I'm just asking you to please share your thoughts in the comments. Okay, one resident had this to say, y'all, and I quote, the Democratic Party has always neglected to pay attention to the black community. Okay, this person also went on to say, and I quote, that is traditional. And because we have been so committed to supporting that party, they feel that they can continue to disrespect us, to marginalize us, to not hear our voices. Okay, now I'm going to tell y'all, that's the concern of many black people, okay, in the black community. So to hear a group saying this is just like, wow. Some people will say, people are starting to wake up. I've even seen those comments before, but I think, when people do their research and when they look at history and when they look at patterns, well, every time Um, there's an election year leading up to an election. It seems like, and I've even said this on the channel, it seems like we'll start seeing things happen, and it's like, okay, is it too good to be true? They care that much about Black people, to say, hey, you should do this or you should do that, or it's kind of like they will campaign to get the Black vote, but then forget about those who help put them in office, okay, once they're elected. And instead, they'll introduce policies, okay, or they'll take certain actions that they think are real solutions, okay. For example, benefits and different things like that, government assistance. They think it may be helpful, okay, to some families. But when you look at long term, okay, is it a real solution? I'm not exactly sure about that, okay? So let me know your thoughts on that, okay? We have a group, okay, of Black voters in Chicago, Illinois, where, based on the coverage that I've done, research I've done, and even the videos I've uploaded, right? We know that migrants are being sent by bus, okay, or even maybe airplane to Chicago. So listen to this, y'all. Here's what they're also saying now. Chicago, according to my sources, has historically battled a crime crisis and more recently a migrant crisis as border towns bus and fly these migrants, okay, to sanctuary sites around the nation, the Windy City included, okay. Chicago is also referred to as the Windy City. Now listen, now, okay, according to the article, there are thousands of migrants seeking refuge in Chicago, although residents have insisted the city cannot provide for more asylum seekers, they're referred to as, with strained resources, okay? More than 20,000 migrants have arrived in the city since August 2022, and that's according to Fox 32 Chicago, and thousands are in shelters, okay? One resident also slammed Mayor Brandon Johnson for not listening to the city's residents over their concerns surrounding its sanctuary status, okay? I shared with you in another video how the residents were accusing, some were accusing and feeling as though Mayor Brandon Johnson promised one thing during his campaign, such as not taking away the certain type of schools that certain students could go to in Chicago. I did a video about that, right? But then once he got elected, now he and his board are looking at doing away with those schools in the name of equality and equity and things like that. So there are a lot of concerns regarding decisions that he has made and that he is making, okay? But listen, one resident also went on to say, and I quote, if the Democratic Party is not going to listen to us, if the Democratic Party is not going to stand up for the people that have supported this party, then it's time for us to make a change, okay? This person also went on to say, now let me just say this as well. The Republican Party is not spotless, but we do need to say at this point, it's time to do something different. Wow, okay. Some people say these are powerful words. Let me know your thoughts, okay? The resident also said, and I quote, you can't keep doing the same old thing and expecting a different outcome. And so that is why it is so important for the citizens of Chicago to turn Chicago red. Think about that, y'all. Now, the question I want to ask is, do you think other cities, okay, do you think other residents in other cities will, have this same thought, okay? Do you think that they will look and see, wow, look how, let's use the migrant crisis, for example, right? Although they're also referring to their crime crisis. So do you think other cities, for example, maybe Los Angeles, New York City, for example, I'm just naming because they're bigger cities. They're also the sanctuary cities, right? Do you think they will look, some of the residents will look at how their city in so many ways may be ignoring them in all of this and say, hey, you know what? It's time to make a change. Maybe they feel like it's not right. Maybe they feel like they're being overlooked. Maybe they feel like money that's being spent. And even in Chicago, they were talking about spending some of the C word relief money, okay, on the migrants. Is that what that was even for? And is that even the right thing to do? Okay. Do you think more residents will look at what's going on, realize how it seems like it's a game almost at the end of the day, and would they make a vow to turn their cities red? Okay, red meaning in favor of the Republican Party over blue, which is affiliated with the Democratic Party. Okay, again, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. Be on this side, be on that side. It's totally up to you. I'm just reporting the information and getting your thoughts. Okay. Okay, crime. Okay, crime has also played a prominent role at the ballot box and remains a key factor as to why many voters have pledged to vote red in the next election. The city, my sources say, has endured a 16% crime surge in 2023. That's according to the Chicago Police Department, all while homelessness, okay, another key issue, homelessness soared 14% amid a surge of the migrants coming in, hoping to gain asylum in the United States, okay? One resident accused Democrats of, and I quote, doing away with Black voters, insisting he has been, this person was saying they were Team Trump since the beginning, okay? This person also said, and I quote, we see that the Democratic Party has decided to do away with us, and so we are fine with that, okay? And so we're going to do away with them, all right? Let me know your thoughts on this, y'all. I think that people are in this particular article, specifically Black voters, as they say, are looking at what's going on, looking at how their issues are being ignored. Okay. They're looking at other people who were not born here, who are from other countries originally. They're looking at the fact that they're allowed to come in, not the traditional way that should be done. I guess you could say not the lawful way, right? They're looking at people who are coming in the manner that they're coming in, right? And they're seeing where their issues are here, okay, if it was a priority. Now they're seeing their priorities go down, their issues as a priority go down, and other people who are not from here, who are coming in the way that they're coming in, it seems like their priorities are being pushed to the top. Okay, how would anyone feel in that particular circumstance? They definitely have reason to be concerned. But my question is, will more residents in more cities follow suit? Okay, let me know your thoughts on this. Thanks so much for supporting me here on Andrea Speaks TV. Stay tuned for more news and commentary you can use.